Hello lovelies, and welcome back to another episode of the Lovely Digest. In today's episode we dive into my acne journey and how I was able to clear my skin without any crazy hacks or medications. The fix was so simple and easy, I still cannot believe my acne hasn't come back. It's been 4 months now, so I feel confident sharing the results with you. So if you're struggling, you can feel empowered to take steps to clearing your own skin in the way that feels best for you. I hadn't heard of anyone taking the route that I did, so it felt like I was jumping off a cliff, but I hope that this sheds insight on a different avenue to take when it comes to acne healing. I hope you enjoy this episode, and without further ado, let's dive right in. So the simple answer of how I cleared my skin is going to facials, which I discovered is not as luxurious as it sounds. If you're like me, maybe dealing with a little low self-worth, I immediately thought there's no way I could do facials that's not in the budget and it feels so bougie. But I was literally willing to pay $150 to just talk. Seriously, a 5-minute conversation was $150 about laser for my scarring on my face. When I hadn't even cleared the acne yet, I was willing to pay $800, my actual rent, 3 times to clear my skin and have less scarring. That's how desperate I was to figure all of this out. And I felt that desperation in my gut, and I realized that laser didn't feel right. I didn't feel confident I could keep my skin clear, and I had a feeling that I was about to sink $25 plus $100 into the drain. So I remembered the facials idea and I went back to that. I listened to 15 million podcasts with ClearStem skincare. ClearStem is a super cool brand with founders trying to change the skincare game. No, this isn't sponsored. Yes, I would love it to be. However, their skincare is a tad expensive. Not as expensive as laser though, so I took their hormonal acne supplement because I was dead convinced that I had hormonal acne. It flared up during ovulation and my period was deep. It flared up during ovulation and my period, and I got deep painful cysts, mostly around my jawline, cheeks, and chin. So I'm literally just cringing thinking about it now, but it kind of pointed to hormonal acne, to be fair. So I started taking this supplement, and sure enough, my gut started feeling off. Not my digestive system, I just mean like my instincts again, like the laser. I just felt like something was eating at me, and after 2 months it was not helping, and then I started getting hives. I think that this is like due to a couple of other things, but they got really bad when I started taking this supplement, and I realized my hormonal cycle actually feels like really good. I realized separately but related, I had just been assuming my hormones were off because everyone's hormones seem to be off. But yeah, I feel really good. I'm regular with my period. I have minor ovulation and period symptoms. So I'm good. Like I felt, I don't know, in my gut, like I'm good. I don't feel like I have hormonal issues. So I took a deeper look and realized what I had known all along. If I had just sought a consultation with an acne specialist in the first place, I probably wouldn't have needed to spend so much money and would have saved so much time and energy. Basically, I needed to stop researching and stressing and trying to do it myself and just let an expert do their job. And I needed to invest in myself. So since I had listened to those 15 million podcast episodes with ClearStem Skincare, I knew I wanted to consult them to find my acne specialist. While their supplement hadn't worked for me, it was more my stubbornness to seek help or to not seek help rather, and needing to feel like I was spending less money DIYing my skincare and hormones than the product, or than on the products. What I had learned from ClearStem is that the 2 founders used Face Reality products and still do, to supplement their own skincare line. It's what they use to clear their own skin and what they used at the acne clinic where Clear Stem started. They're in California though, so I couldn't go to that clinic, unfortunately. So when they hosted a live call, I asked them how to find someone I could trust near me. Amazingly, they answered and they told me to go to Face Reality, their website, and use their search tool to find an esthetician in my area, which is just really convenient and amazing. And totally kismetly, when I went to go use this search engine, one of the clinics that popped up was one that I had researched a few years ago when I thought that I had bad acne and it hadn't really gotten that bad yet. I had dipped my toe into the idea of going for facials, like I said, but I had quickly dismissed the idea when I was like, no, this is too bougie, this is just like too expensive. But little had I known then that facials can be nice and relaxing, but they can also help keep acne prone skin clear. And you know, I'm not saying they're extremely painful, but they're painful, like they're not relaxing. But like the point is that you can go for a relaxing massage, but there's also deep tissue massage and ones that will like really help you recover fast from workouts. And so I kind of started looking at facials as, in this new light, as something that could really help my skin rather than something like that was topical. But I made the appointment. I just surrendered. I made the appointment and I was matched to my esthetician, Sammy, who is an angel. I love her so much. She made me feel so welcome and she's so sweet and kind and has completely transformed my skin. So if you're on YouTube, I'm going to show some pictures. I feel like everyone loves a good before and after. So if you're on the podcast listening and you want to see that, head over to YouTube. But my skin went from inflamed and upset to completely clear in weeks. I'm talking like years of having deep, painful cysts and having it be clear so fast that I cried no less than 10 times because I could not believe like that's all that it took to have clear skin. I was kind of mad at myself, but mostly I was just happy. But yeah, it's just gone. And they're still gone. Mind you, these appointments aren't cheap, I will say. Like for some people, they're not cheap. To me, they're an investment, but I have such a minimal skincare routine now. I'm not trying new products, not shelling out on money like every few weeks, trying new things and worrying and stressing and also dealing with pain. So I have like a very small, I think my skincare routine now is like 4 steps, morning and night. It's super easy, super simple, which is so worth it to me and its health because I feel confident. I know that I'm not going to break out. I feel like very secure in my skin and in my routine. And again, none of this is sponsored, but acne can really lower your self-confidence, and I would wake up every single morning and touch my skin to see if the cysts were still there. It was even painful just to smile, which is a horrible feeling. No one should feel like that. And I felt like it was my fault. I felt like I was doing something wrong, and I have not changed my diet. I have a really good diet compared to the traditional American diet, I will say, but I still have dairy. I have chocolate. I have a sweet tooth, and my skin's still clear. So if you're feeling like you're hitting a wall and you've tried everything, this is worth it, I promise. So the $150 every 6 to 8 weeks these last few months has been so worth it. And I've made it fit in my budget because you see my skin. If you're on YouTube, you can see my skin. You can see the before and after. You know it's worth it. And by the way, the $150, that's for my location in Providence. That also includes a tip. I love to tip Sammy. I strongly believe in tipping your estheticians, your nail artists, your massage therapists, etc. Tip them, please. The kicker to all of this is that I didn't have hormonal acne. I was right. My gut instinct was right. And Sammy explained that I had a type of bacteria, rather, that was just taking over my skin, and I was also, on top of that, having an inflammatory response, which makes sense because, as you probably know if you listen here often or follow me here on Instagram, I have Crohn's and I'm on an infusion therapy drug. So the fact that my skin is very sensitive and flares up to protect the pimple, which your skin just wants to protect your skin and like take care of you, and so that's what an inflammatory response is. So it just made me like see my skin in a whole new light and have a little more compassion, be like, my body's just trying to take care of me, that's why it's having an inflammatory response, and it makes sense. Now, I'm not going to share my skincare routine because that differs from person to person based on the type of bacteria that I have. Sammy picked products that matches like how to clear that bacteria. But what I will say is that if you have very inflamed skin, like me, icing my skin changed my life, changed it, but it single-handedly calmed my skin down so much and still does. If you don't have an ice roller, using an ice cube, sometimes I'll still just use an ice cube if it needs like extra coldness. The ice roller is great. I have the Bond Charge ice roller, but just a straight ice cube, as it like melts on your skin, it's actually kind of satisfying. I just hold it with a paper towel and rub it over like and stand over the sink as it melts, and I'll just use one whole ice cube, and I'll still do that after like I go for a facial and my skin is more inflamed and sensitive and needs extra icing. And when I first started, I would do that twice a day, morning and night, before I put my skincare products on, but after I cleansed my face. And literally it just felt stupid how good the results were from just doing that, like especially in the beginning. It's so wild. But to wrap up, wherever you are with your skin, just know you don't need to go on harmful medication if you don't want to or if it doesn't feel right. You don't have to learn to be happy with your acne. You just need to learn to love yourself at any stage. It's just a phase. This phase for me lasted several years and it was really frustrating. However, it was just a phase and now it's over, and I don't think about my skin more than a few minutes a day, which is just a couple of 6 months ago. I thought about it every second of the day when I smiled and it hurt. So just know that it will end, and just have compassion for what your body is going through. It's just trying to protect you and tell you that something is wrong or something's up with you. But I hope this episode helped shed some light on new things you can do to help your acne. I'm sending so much love to you all, especially if you have acne and are dealing with it. And I hope to see you back here again soon. Have an amazing week. Bye!